Hello friends, welcome to Crochet and Beyond. I'm going to teach you how to do this stitch today. It's called the Bushy Stitch. It creates a somewhat zigzaggy pattern, you see that? So I think it's a very cute stitch. For you to do this stitch, you need to chain a multiple of 3 plus 1. So I picked 15 plus 1, so I got 16 chains that I'm going to start this sample. The yarn I'm using is Red Heart Super Saver here, size 4, and I like to use 2 hooks, a bigger one for the foundation chain, slightly bigger, and this one here for the main work. Now note that you can do this in any yarn. It doesn't have to be a size 4. It can be thicker, it can be thinner. Just know that as you do that you change the size of your hook accordingly. I would love to see you trying this stitch, whether if it's just a little sample at first, and I want to see your work. If you're willing to join my Facebook group, do that. The link to that is on the descriptions below this video. So join my group and show me your work. If you are actually coming up with an idea, let's say a blanket, a pillow, or whatever you think of that this stitch will look good with, then go ahead and share your idea with us in the group. So let's get started. With your yarn and the larger hook, let's chain a multiple of 3 plus 1. So for this sample here, I'm going to do 15 chains plus 1, so that will be 16. So it's a multiple of 3 plus 1. Alrighty, so let's get going. My initial knot I do like this. I make a loop. I put my hook into the loop, and then I chain 3 times without letting go from the bottom. Then I hold at the top and pull that string, and that leaves me with 1 chain. From here, I need a couple more, so 15. I want a total of 16, so let's do 15 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. Very good. I leave the larger hook behind and take a look at your chain. Make sure that it is a very flexible chain. That's the reason why I normally use a slightly larger hook when I do a foundation chain. So it's a good chain to work with. A very tight chain is complicated. I wouldn't go there. Don't make it too tight. Otherwise it shrivels up your work in the bottom and it might look weird. So it's gotta be nice and flexible. Now let's work on row 1. You will have to get started with a double crochet on the 4th chain from the hook. So here's the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th. So you want a double crochet on that chain. Then you chain 2, and you're going to do a single crochet on the same spot. That is your sequence. Skip the next 2 chains, so skip, skip, and do exactly that again. 1 double crochet, 2 chains, and a single crochet in the same spot. And that is the sequence from now on. You skip 2 chains, 1, 2, and start again. Double crochet. I'm gonna do this until the end of the row with you. Chain 2, and single crochet. And here we go again. I get ready here already. I count, skip, skip, 1, 2, or just say skip, skip. Either way works. And that's where it goes. 1 double, chain 2, 1 single crochet, and you got 1 more sequence to do. So you notice that it will end perfect, right? You skip, skip, and that's your last chain. So if by any chance you come to the end of the row and you have, instead of 3 chains here, you know, the skip, skip, and the one you work on, let's say there is 1 here still to go, then something went wrong as you were doing your sequences here. So if it's a short little something like this, not a big deal. Go ahead, open up, and fix it. Now, if it's a long piece of work that you're working on, that can be a little bit frustrating. So I recommend that you be very attentive to kind of skip those 2 chains accordingly and make sure that you start in the 4th chain from the hook so that at the end you will end up always exact. All right, so it doesn't matter what kind of multiple of 3 plus 1 you will do, it should be exact. So this finishes row 1. Let's get started on row 2. Before you turn, chain 2. Every time when you're done with a row, before you turn, chain 2 every single time. Now you're going to start working on the chain 2 spaces. All these chain 2 spaces that you made on the previous row, that's where your sequences will be inserted from now on. So the sequence is the same. A double crochet into the chain 2 space, chain 2, and a single crochet. You don't need to worry about skipping anything. Right now you simply yarn over and find that other chain 2 space and give me a double crochet, chain 2, and a single. That's it. Keep moving forward until the end of the row. Because this is a very short little something, I'm gonna finish it up with you. Very simple stitch, but when we do this consistently, yeah, it looks really neat at the end. There was a weird knot. Oh, I hate when that happens. See those knots like that when the yarn comes with a mend. Yeah, these knots here, they happen. It's sometimes a bit of a fuss. If I was working on a real something here, this is just a sample, right? I would cut this and redo this. And I have a video that is in the description below that tells you more exactly how to deal with this when your yarn has a funny knot like that and it looks awkward. You want to cut this and do the knot again and then work with it in a way that it blends into your work better. So check that video out for you to understand exactly how I deal with that. Okay, so let me just redo this one here. I'm simply going to ignore it. All right, and that is the end of row 2. Now here for row 3, we chain 2 before we turn. There we go, always chain 2. This is the last row I'm going to do together with you. So remember that when we are done with our row, you must chain 2. All right? Okay, so let's finish up this row. And then there's chain 2s after every double crochet and a single crochet right after. There's your single. There is your double. And your single. Couple more. There is your double. And last one. Okay, row 3 is completed. There. Okay. All right, there we go. That's my 3 rows here, and I'm going to work on just a few more rows here so I have a square, and then I'll meet with you again. They're all finished. And I would love to see you giving a try. So even if it's just a sample at first, I like to see that. If you're on Facebook, join my group and post there and show me your work. And if you don't have Facebook, then send a comment on this video and tell me how it went. I would love to know. Okay, thank you so much, and until soon.